Hello all, I'm from the Costerdale Solihull. If Solihull was a cake and you wanted to know how to bake it, I'd tell you. One big concrete mixing bowl, 1 heaped tablespoon of wankers, sieve in half a dozen bags of cocaine, grate the zest off some maxed out credit cards, inject with Botox and leave Solihull to freeze overnight. The critics say it tastes richer than the Coventry version. Apparently Coventry cake was more popular in Germany in the 1940s. They used to bake it every weekend. I guess it was fun to cook. Now, as a Solihull lad, look, I'm a wanker too. I like to touch wood. Occasionally. But in the last few years, I've migrated south to Stratford-upon-Avon. Oh, a place where, when the sun is out, the brummies come out. Like Prince Andrew to a teenager's house party. It's a traditional town where 50 Shades of Grey is the hair colour of most of the local residents. Now, of course, there's things you can do in Stratford that you can't do in Birmingham, such as look at a canal, or have an ice cream and look at a canal. If you're single, you might find love at the British Heart Foundation. Now, of course, you get people who say, well, look, I've come here to see Shakespeare. And I think, really? To see Shakespeare? You can see the problem with that straight away. Either they're only 400 years too late, and I suppose the traffic on the M42 does get a bit hectic, or they've got a few skeletons in their closet, classic necrophiliacs. To dig or not to dig? That is the question. Now, international tourists are gullible. You could tell them anything, such as Shakespeare was actually split up from his wife when he paid for a Ryanair flight. Or Shakespeare lost his virginity in the back of that Ford. He did like his escorts. Or here's a shard of glass from Shakespeare's first iPhone. The iPhone SE, the Shakespeare edition. Independently verified by Apple geniuses. The bridge over the River Avon marks the spot where Shakespeare caught his first Pokemon. Shakespeare describes Catcher in Pikachu as the taming of the Chew. Surprisingly, Shakespeare faced a lot of rejection in his early career. It turns out the ladies weren't particularly interested in Netflix and Quill. When his pants finally came down, there wasn't much they could do about nothing. By nightfall, Stratford has as much life as a CPR test dummy. Ironically, the local council allow the strip club to stay open, probably because Shakespeare used to go in there for a play. He'd walk in and say, "Wherefore art my titties?" He'd never pay for a dance, he'd just read poetry till they begged him to leave. Dirty bastard. He was on it like a sonnet. And it's not just tourists, providing international investment in Britain. A country has just sponsored a new ride at Alton Towers. Unfortunately, it was only Q-Wait. When I take a woman to bed, it reminds me of a roller coaster. Because I wait around for her for ages. And when I finally strap myself in, I know I'm not the first person to have a ride. Probably not. So I do a brief safety check. I go upside down, somebody screams, I take a photo, nobody smiles, and it's all over in 2 minutes. I've then got to hope I've come out the right exit. Theme parks are confusing in the dark. I knew my National Trust membership had finally come in handy when a girl tossed me off at Kenilworth Castle. The local dog walkers weren't impressed, but at least I wasn't the only one wagging my tail. All's well that ends well. I've finally discovered what being a vegan actually means. A vegetable-eating, grumpy, arrogant knob. Finally, Birmingham, I'd just like to say I've got the greatest respect for anyone doing a PhD. It takes a lot of time and effort to do a Pizza Hut delivery. Prince Andrew sends his regards. Thank you, Birmingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Patrick Wall.